Hello geeks, gamers, and monster creators. It is volume 3 of my Monster Maker series today. 10 more free abilities to add to the creatures that you create for your D&D 5e games. Brought to you by the Great Conflagration itself, today's theme is fire and ash. So let's get started. You're watching The Dungeon Geek. Before we get started, of course, if this is your first time downloading a Monster Maker series sheet, be aware that there are going to be certain fields within each one of these abilities that you're going to need to fill out yourself. A lot of the times this may just mean you need to replace the creature name, or the damage amounts, or the difficulty challenge of a saving throw. All of these things are things that you can find out with a Google search. There's lots of resources out there to determine what scale or what appropriate challenge rating things should be versus your player group. Well, let's not get into that here. My recommendation is either download my Monster Maker creator sheet in the link below, or go visit a blog like The Angry GM and really get in depth about reading how monsters are created for D&D so that you're better prepared to challenge your party appropriately when creating creatures. Other than that, we can go ahead and get started. I, of course, am not going to go over every single one of these abilities, but let's go over my top 3 fire and ash abilities here. Whether you're creating creatures from the elemental plane of fire, the elemental chaos, worshippers of some sort of volcanic deity, it's up to you. Let's get started. Number 3, Blazing Dash. Now, personally, I have found very little use for the dash action using monsters in my games. Maybe that's not the case for you, but at least for me, dash is pretty much useless for a monster. This is sort of like an M. Bison style teleport action that you can use as the dash command. Your creature turns into a orb of fire, flies through a couple of PCs on his dash route, and then stops on the opposite side, and then returns to his corporal form. Number 2, Kaseth's Blessing. Feel free to enter your own fire deity name here, but the creature with this blessing is able to penetrate its own attacks when using fire damage against an opponent to any opponent that has fire resistance or spell resistance. Now, in the case of creatures that have fire immunity or spell immunity, that immunity then drops to resistance, making their fire attacks something to be reckoned with if the creatures that they're facing are typically not really scared of being burned. And my number 1 pick, Volcano Heart. This is especially fun for creatures like a magma golem or somebody that has superheated blood. Even like a dragon would be a good option for this. So when your creature gets attacked and receives at least X damage from another creature, it automatically gets a free bonus reaction, which is basically them spraying a cone of their superheated insides in a 15-foot arc out from their body, enabling them to make a fire attack there on the fly in the middle of the opponent's turn. And this can turn combat into a delicate dance as the players avoid being sprayed from their molten core.
Liquid hot magma.
Those are just a couple of the abilities on this sheet. There are 7 more that you can find out about by downloading the free sheet in the link below. Feel free to check out all of the free content that I've got up at thedungeongeek.wordpress.com. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Keep coming back for more. There's going to be free content all of 2018, I promise. It's going to be worth your while. And as always, thank you for taking the time to watch this. Until next time, this has been The Dungeon Geek.